stream also up, and we're live over there too. So, hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, check this out. I got a ton of strawberries over at Fairwinds Farm. This is 8 of the 24 quarts that I've got. And actually, that's what I want to get right into today. Actually, before I start that, I'm going to start taking calls. So you can give me a 707-529-1423. I'll put you on speakerphone. You'll be live with me right on the show. As much as possible, I want to make the show very interactive. So please write comments, ask questions, and participate in the show, because that's what will make this fun and it will make it grow. So Fairwinds Farm in Bodenham, Maine. It's something I guess, let me ask you a question. Has anybody ever done like a U-pick? I know they have them for apple farms as well. You could go pick peaches, and these guys have their strawberries, raspberries coming soon, and then they have blueberries as well. And I just think this is it's so fun. It's so enjoyable to go out there. I think I've talked about this in a previous podcast, but I can't say enough about it. And it was just making me think about the intersection between fitness and wellness. Well, there's fitness, there's wellness, and then there's gardening and farming as well. And this is a very strenuous activity. I got a pretty good workout. I was picking for about 2 hours, and it was really cool to see that a lot of other people too that probably weren't necessarily fitness people. I don't know if they had gym memberships or anything like that, but this was a really nice activity for them to go out, be outside. Fairwinds Farm is such a beautiful place. It's right on the Androscoggin River, I guess, or maybe it's the Kennebec, but it's right there on the river. It was such a beautiful day, very hot and humid here, but I personally love it. And it's just such a activity. The only problem with working out, now don't get me wrong, I love going to the gym, I love working out, but sometimes you just realize, like, I just did all this work and I didn't, I worked my body out, and that's cool. But when you are farming, not only are you getting a workout, but you're producing something, or you're gathering something in this case. And this gathering of strawberries, this is going to be my nutrition, and hopefully reach, I sell some of this stuff in my farm stand and I sell it to my clients. So hopefully it will help them, those folks out in their nutrition a little bit. And just a quick note on the nutrition aspect of fruit. I know that there's a lot of discussion about sugar, and people are concerned about their sugar intake. And any fruit is pretty high in sugar. I mean, that's its main. It's pretty much, they're pretty much all carbohydrate and mostly sugar. But the difference is that there's a good amount of fiber, and there's also high micronutrient content. And if you get it fresh, the sum effect on your body is an oxidative effect. An antioxidative effect, which is something that I want to touch on a little bit more. I've been reading some articles about this. It's one aspect of nutrition that I think is really important. And but fresh berries are super supportive of health, even if they're a little bit higher in sugar. And actually, I have a quick recipe for you, or a concept for a recipe. So smoothies and shakes. I drink a smoothie pretty much every day for lunch, and it's just a staple of mine. I think it's a really universal thing. And sometimes I put a protein powder in there. You can see I'm like sweating. It's so humid out here, but it feels really good. So the shake, it's really versatile. I kind of just put whatever I have in it, and so right now I've got all these berries. I'm cutting them up, I'm freezing them, and then I'm throwing them in my smoothie. And I'm always having some kind of fruit base in there. I use a banana. I use whatever berry. And then from there, I have my liquid, and usually I'm using orange juice or apple juice, some kind of 100% juice. Sometimes I use milk. And then I also go with, I usually put my Greek yogurt in there. And I have But then another main component of it is a green, a leafy green. Right now in season here, we have beet greens, and beet greens are something that I've recently been turned on to as probably one of the best things to add in the smoothie, because what you're looking for is something that's high micronutrient content. I've talked a little bit about the Andy score before. The Andy score is a micronutrient rating. You can have something like the beet green, kale, also other things like collard greens and broccoli. These have perfect Andy scores. Now that's assuming they were grown in really quality soil, but if you're getting it fresh and you're getting it from a farmer that's engaged in some of the better practices, you can be assured that you're going to be getting something high in micronutrients. And it's essentially a multivitamin. I mean, that's a multivitamin. That's all it is. It's micronutrients put into a pill form. But, eating it fresh, the micronutrients that you take in are going to be more available. You're going to uptake a higher percentage of those micronutrients as opposed to when you take it in the pill form. So, hey, James, what's up, man? How you doing? Rick, join me over there. Thanks so much for tuning in. And hey, remember, guys, if you want to call in, I left the number in the comments. You can call in if you have a comment, or just leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. So for those of you who are listening, I will encourage you to participate in some U-Pick this year. Whether you got an apple farm near you, which that's not going to happen for a couple more months, or, out around here in Maine, I'm aware of a bunch of different places that have U-Pick. There's some apple farms nearby, which I'd probably like to hit them up. Although I have an apple tree right here, which on most years gives us all that we can handle ourselves. But the other direction I wanted to go with this is talking about the importance and the value of eating fresh and eating local and eating seasonally, especially the seasonal aspect of it. So, right now, that whole farm, they're actually closing off their berries. The U-Pick berries are done after today. But I was out there, and there's a ton more berries out there. So the bounty is it's very bountiful out there. So I encourage you guys to go out. It's such a nice time being outdoors, and at the end of the day, you're going to get something you can bring home, and it's part of your nutrition as well. Now, the downside to this is the processing aspect of it. It takes a lot of work. So I got all these quarts, and I'm going to give some of them away, but I'm probably going to end up with at least 8 quarts that I got to do something with. Otherwise, they're just going to rot. And so, what I've been doing is cutting them down into smaller pieces and then freezing them. We also made some jams, but it's work. It's going to take me 3 or 4 hours to process those tomorrow. So it takes a little bit of planning. It takes some dedication. So it's really a lifestyle thing as well. But if you're looking for a nice activity to do, a family activity, this is there was this guy next to me. He must have been 70, in his late 70s. And he was picking, man. He was doing a great job. And his wife was also, I think together, they also got about 16 quarts in the hour and a half or so I was there. So that was pretty impressive. So it's an activity that even, seniors can go do. And there was tons of kids running around. So it was so fun. What's up, Chris? Chris gave me a shout out on YouTube. Yeah, Maine blueberries are coming soon. We're looking forward to those. And you want to talk about back-breaking work. You guys know about blueberries and how they grow. Well, there's high bush blueberries that get nice and tall. And those are actually very nice, both because they're big and they're easy to harvest. But the small Maine blueberries, the taste is unparalleled. But in order to harvest these, I mean, these are coming like this far off of the ground, and you have to use this. Basically, it's a rake. You rake them through, you stick them in the bag, rake them, and then what you end up with all the blueberries and then some leaves and stems, and then you put it through a blower and it blows all the leaves and stems off, and you end up with fantastically delicious blueberries. But it's really, really hard work because, I mean, look at this. You're down. Imagine going like this for a couple hours a day. Oh, by the way, like my shirt, gotta represent the cats. So I'm working on something right now. I'm working on kind of it's sort of a nutrition plan, but it's more talking about some of the concepts. I'm not necessarily going to tell you what to eat. I'm not going to have a meal plan or anything like that, but I'm just going to talk about some of the concepts and some priorities. And my bias is big time into, eating local, eating fresh. If you're a meat eater, one big thing is if you're a vegetarian, this doesn't really apply to you. And I don't really play the I've been vegetarian, I've been a meatitarian, and everywhere in between. And I think it's all good. It really comes down to your own morals and principles, and you got to kind of navigate that yourselves, I think. And there's no right or wrong answer. But if you are eating meat, I'm still very concerned about the ethics of it. And let's be frank, and I don't want to be too graphic or anything, but we got to be real and looking into a lot of the meats that we get from the big box grocery stores and fast food restaurants. If you look at the way that the animals are raised, it's nothing that you want to support, man. It's nothing you want to support. Concentrating animal feeding operations, it's really not good. And, and I understand if you're a working person, you're busy, you have so much else going on in your lives, and you're probably hearing all this nutritional information like, oh, you can't eat this, you can't eat that. And you're like, dude, I'm just trying to feed my family. I got time for this. And I understand, I empathize with that. So, we're all doing what we can. But if there is one thing that you can do, consider getting a meat share, or consider buying from a local farmer. And local could mean right down the street from you, or if you're living in the middle of a city, then it could mean, within a 100-mile radius, but if you're buying it from and local could also be concentrated animal feeding operations. You could live close to one of those, and that could be considered local. But I just, you'll do yourself a favor, because there is a growing body of data to show how there is a nutritional benefit to eating animals that were raised with better ecological practices and more humane practices. And yes, you're going to have to pay a little bit of a premium in order to get some of these foods. And I'm not saying that you got to, there's a price point that the producers themselves have to reach you at. If you can get ground beef for $2 a pound at the grocery store, and then you go to the farmer's market and it's $15 a pound, well, yeah, that doesn't really add up. And that's very difficult to justify. But if you can find a local producer that's still doing a pretty good job and being mindful of the ecology and giving the animals a nice life and a nice diet, if you can locate one of these, then it's a really good thing, and you should feel really good about it. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet tonight. So this is a thing. Every Wednesday, I'm coming a little earlier tonight. My default time is going to be 5:00. But if I'm going to be off on the time, I'll send a message like I did earlier today to let you know. And, I'm really trying to grow this thing. I want to really make a push to try to make this part of my activities. I love doing podcasts. I want to feature some people. Actually, I'm working on getting the owners of Fairwind Farms to talk to me, and they can give you the story of their farm, which is a very interesting story and very insightful as well. So yeah, hit me up, man. And also, I got the balanced body system thing going on, which I'm in the stage right now where I'm just trying to gather data. So if you're somebody who's kind of in between exercise programs and you want to try something new, you should definitely hit me up, and we can work together to come up with a really nice plan. And I have a lot of pre-made plans that you can potentially use, or we can work together to make a customized one. So also, what's up to Michelle and Dave Rafferty just joined. So nice to see you guys. And yeah, thanks for joining, Chris. Cool of you to leave some messages on my YouTube. And yeah, I stream this on YouTube and I stream this on Facebook. But I also have a lot of other resources. So I'm finding that if you're watching this on Facebook, you're on Facebook. You don't want to go to YouTube. You want to be on Facebook. So I respect that. But if you want more content of mine, right now, most of my stuff is up on YouTube. So my Facebook people, check out my YouTube channel, scroll around there, and please comment on my videos. Yeah, this is all about, I want to start discussions. I want to have participation by you folks, and I want to make this entertaining and interactive. So any feedback and participation is really appreciated. And hey, what's up, Drew? Thanks for checking in, man. So I'll leave it at that for today. I look forward to checking in with you next Wednesday for another Nothingburger podcast. This is Matt Hines signing off.